All right, let's get into it, shall we? That's the wrong image. Here it is. Nope, that's not it either. Where the heck is the image? There it is. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Andrew Kirchhoff, and welcome to my YouTube channel. We are here post Thursday night football game. My God, was that terrible? Like, what was that? Somebody explain to me what the heck just happened here on Thursday night, because I don't understand what just happened. That may be one of... I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. I fell asleep in the first half because it was so damn boring. And then I proceeded to wake up, watch a couple plays here and there, fall back asleep, then wake up again, and then realize this is just not worth watching. And then now we're here. Obviously, we finished out that game, saw exactly what the heck went down, but just boring and super unfortunate for those of you who had Lamar Jackson. At least Mark Andrews got himself going at the end there. Thank goodness. Devontae Freeman, a no-show. Gaskin just nothing. Waddle nothing. Mike Gesicki decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to get 7 targets, and I'm not going to catch a single one of them. Great. Jacoby Brissett's like, I'm going to get hurt real quick, and Tua of all quarterbacks is going to come back in. Dude, what the heck was that? Dude, that game belongs to week 9. We're not claiming that as of week 10. Because if that's how we're going to start for week 10, hopefully we'll have a little bit of a role reversal. Like last Thursday, we started off with a game where the Colts put up like 40 points and the Jets put up 30. And then we had a terrible week 9. Hopefully we get a little bit of a switch here where we have a terrible Thursday night game and it goes into a high-scoring Sunday slate of games into Monday. That's the hope. If that's not going to be the case, we're going to be in a lot of trouble because that was just horrible football. Putrid. Either way, welcome everybody. We're going to be here for the next hour plus, answering questions, helping you guys with your Sunday lineups, whether it is trades, rating your team, etc., etc. My name is Andrew Kirchhoff. If you're not familiar with me and you're new here to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're making fantasy football content for the entirety of the season. Again, there's a link down in the description of the video for those of you who are looking to play fantasy football elsewhere out of your regular leagues, Underdog Fantasy. I did have a team today. Actually, I'm curious. How did I actually do? I had a team where I had Mark Andrews, Bateman, Freeman, and Mac Hollins. Let's see here. If I go live, let's see. What the heck? All right, so I won $30 actually. Okay, not bad. Actually, hold up. I gotta screenshot this. This is a nice little win right here. Anyway, so if you use promo code Andrew today and you sign up, Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. For those of you interested, there's weekly contests, whether it's the Monday games, Thursday game, Sunday slate of games. I'm going to draft a couple Sunday games today, but either way, first and foremost, want to answer questions. I saw somebody that was first in the chat, Bill Gates, said, Andrew, help. Who do I flex, Julio, Bolden, or D'Ernest Johnson? Which my immediate reaction is, there's a lot of prerequisites to that question being answered. First and foremost, is Nick Chubb playing? If he's not, D'Ernest Johnson is my suggestion. If Nick Chubb plays, obviously, we're not playing D'Ernest. And then there's also prerequisites. Is Ramondre Stevenson or Damian Harris playing? Neither of them practiced each of the last 2 days, which means they're probably in the concussion protocol. Most likely get into a situation where they're not playing. If they don't play, Nick Chubb does, then we play Brandon Bolden. We are trying to probably not play Julio as much as we possibly can. So that is my suggestion at that point. Either way, I'm going to come back down. Let's go ahead. Let's see what you guys have to ask here. Raul says, Joe Mixon or David Montgomery rest of season? That's a really good question, and I think I'm going to probably answer that tomorrow as I show you David Montgomery's strength of schedule. I really do think David Montgomery is going to be next level. With that said, Joe Mixon's been fantastic as of late. The guy's been scoring a boatload of touchdowns, got himself a lot of work in the passing game. So for right now, I'd say Joe Mixon. But in terms of schedule, it certainly is going to appeal to Montgomery managers far more going forward. Bateman had a great game. Not even just a good game there, Pavi. To be totally honest, that was a great game. That was Adrian's comment. Overall, that's exactly what we needed him to do. I mean, slowly but surely, he has to turn from an experiment to a full-fledged player. And when he gets to that position, and he could potentially even be started. I mean, I had him at my number 36 wide receiver because he was on that fringe. If Sammy Watkins comes back and starts taking touches, XYZ. Luckily, it wasn't a run game in which they didn't have to pass the entire time. It was actually quite the opposite, which definitely did hurt them a bit. But nothing, nothing to worry about overall. Let me see here. I gotta send some text real quick, and then All right. Hey, Andrew. This is Naaman. Says, pick 2 PPR, assuming Kamara is out. Ingram, Gibson, Ayuk. Okay, so that's a good question. If, in fact, Kamara is out, I'm for sure playing Mark Ingram. It's not even a question, right? Where is Mark Ingram in my rankings? Probably like a top 16 running back this week. Probably, obviously, at the bottom end of that 16 list. Maybe at like 15 or 16. So that's where I'd probably have him, assuming we have Kamara out. With that said, he 100% starts over all of these prospects, assuming Kamara's out. So it's not even close at that point. As for the other options, let me see here. Where the heck did the message go? Gibson, Ayuk, Javonte. I mean, I'd probably go Javonte at that point. I like Ayuk, but I don't know how much I can trust him in back-to-back weeks. I obviously want to just kind of wait and see before I get burnt by him. Dude says, started Gesicki, LOL, projected to lose by 14 now. I mean, dude, out of all the weeks Gesicki just disappears, the fact that he does it against an actual terrible defense in terms of stopping tight ends, it's just so unfortunate. Oh, man. It's not fun. Not fun. Not fun at all. What's up, Sven? How's it going? I had Bateman too on the bench, though. Yeah. No, listen, Bateman is going to eventually be in our lineups. It's just a matter of how long it takes for us to get there to where we're comfortable enough starting him. PPR, Conklin or Freiermuth? I'd play Freiermuth there. If you just go check out my video I posted earlier today, I had my tight end and quarterback rankings. Freiermuth's my number 8, and I think Conklin's my number 15 at the tight end position, so that kind of gives you some perspective. Jonathan says, who do I add for rest of season? Hold half PPR, Callaway, Sterling Shepard, T.Y. Hilton, Anderson? That's a good question. I don't want to touch Robbie Anderson. Even with Cam Newton coming back, I don't know how much that really helps Robbie Anderson. Certainly it's going to help Christian McCaffrey. I think it certainly helps DJ Moore. But maybe you could take the risk and grab him and see what comes of it. Callaway, I'm not too interested in. I just don't know if that offense is going to be potent enough to feed him the ball enough to where he gets value. I know he scored a touchdown last week, but nothing too special there. Sterling Shepard's hurt every week. T.Y. Hilton's pretty good. So of the group, in my opinion, it's between T.Y. Hilton and Robbie Anderson. Who would I rather have? Most likely T.Y. Hilton. Because I think if this offense is just going to keep playing as well as they have, they're probably going to continue to see a good stream of targets going to their number 2 wide receiver. Zach Pascal got himself a good amount of receptions last week, and he's not even that great of a overall prospect in that regard. All right, let's see here. Will Kamara play, says Aaron? I have no clue. It depends on whether or not they want him to play or whether they're looking towards the future. My assumption is that if he is hurt enough to where he's not practicing for the entire week, then they're not going to risk playing him. They have no incentive to do so because really it's not a big deal if he doesn't play. They can go ahead and fill in. There's a reason why they went and got Mark Ingram of all players, so that they not only have another backup running back to help take some of those early down snaps from him, but of course get him involved and get him going. All right, I want to download this really quickly to myself and put it on the desktop. Perfect. Okay, let's move that. It's cool. All right, let's see what else. Do you prefer Beasley or Javonte in a full PPR? I would probably go with Beasley. Beasley's moved up in my rankings since yesterday's wide receiver video. The dude he gets too many catches. In a full PPR, it's different, right? Because in my rankings, it's a half PPR, right? Because I want to make sure that everybody has a little bit of a taste of what the heck's going on. But yeah, Beasley in a full PPR it's too valuable at this point, and it's really reminiscent of what we had last year and even the year before in 2019. So a lot of value going on there. I have Ingram, thankfully. Yeah, I mean, dude, if you have Ingram or if he's available in your league, I absolutely suggest you guys going and picking him up. That's been the case for the last 2 weeks now via the waiver episode. Just go out and get him before somebody else does. Do I start DJ Moore or Judy? Right now, I'm saying Judy. I think I'd rather play Jerry Judy. I'm getting to the position where it really is going to be a little too easy as we progress. And Cortland Sutton's going to get locked down this week by Darius Slay. He's going to have to look in the direction of Tim Patrick and Judy's been great in the slot position this season alone. Drop Bateman for Mooney. That's a really good question. How about we have both of them, Mr. Wong? Because honestly, if you can get both of them on roster, I think that helps you going forward. Let's see here. Kevin Kim says, Hurts or Kyler for the playoff run? I will answer that in tomorrow's video. We're going to talk about strength of schedule. I'll have that posted tomorrow. I'll give you some more clarity on that in terms of matchups. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. Jets fan says, I have Schultz, Freiermuth, and Goddard. Who do I start? I would play Fryer, Schultz, and then Goddard in that exact order. Nick sends in a donation. Thank you very much. Nick says, pick 2, D'Ernest Johnson, DeAndre Swift, or James Robinson. All right, so I think it's completely contingent on whether or not we're going to see a scenario in which Nick Chubb plays. If Nick Chubb does not play, I'm playing D'Ernest Johnson and Swift. If he does play, of course, you would switch and you would play Swift and Robinson. So that's basically the entire question. If he's able to get 2 negative tests until before Sunday, then we'd go ahead and opt away from D'Ernest. But chances are we don't see that. And therefore play DeAndre Swift and D'Ernest Johnson. Thank you. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Julio hurt again? Yeah, I mean, listen, Julio doesn't stop. Julio stays hurt. That's really the reality of it. Julio just likes to stay injured, which is crazy. Let's see here. Which Rams gets hurt the most by OBJ's role? Well, look, OBJ's an outside wide receiver, so I would probably say it's Van Jefferson, right? Because Van Jefferson is the guy that is playing opposite Robert Woods. Cooper Kupp is playing predominantly in the slot position. So it is Van Jefferson that is going to take the backseat going forward. In terms of outlook, okay, let's see how many targets Van Jefferson typically gets per week, right? It's about 6 to 7. So, or maybe sometimes less. So it's about, let's say 5 to 7 targets. If Van Jefferson's getting those kind of opportunities, and we're going to go ahead and siphon those off and give them directly to Odell Beckham Jr., well, then he's going to have to work with, 5 to 7 targets. Are those going to be as high quality as, some of the ones that, Cooper Kupp is getting, in which he's on the run, he's catching it in stride and walking into the end zone? Probably not. But, hey, if all it takes is a good quarterback and Odell Beckham to connect, I think this is a beautiful matchup because, Odell Beckham's had, good seasons with Eli Manning, but he's never had a Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position. I think they could really air it out and have some, value there. In terms of what his upside is, I mean, best case scenario, literally best case scenario, he's a wide receiver 3 option, and that's it. I don't think he gets into that wide receiver 2 market. There's far too many other wide receivers in the NFL right now that are getting far more opportunities. He'll need touchdowns to get him into that category and a consistent stream of them, which I don't think they'll be available because there's still Woods on that team. And, of course, Higbee and Darrell Henderson. Kenneth Williams says, Gibson or Pollard? Full PPR, thank you. I would say Gibson. Here's the thing about Tony Pollard. If Zeke is going to be limited in some capacity, then sure, then we'd go with him. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. If there's some sort of rumbling that they're not going to play Zeke, or they'd rather go ahead and play Pollard for more than 70% of the snaps and let Zeke kind of touch the ball 5 times and go to the bench, then by all means we'd go ahead and fire up Pollard. But I don't think that's going to be the case this week. Therefore, I would just rather play. I'd rather just play Antonio Gibson. Man, hopefully Gibson's healthy. I know he hasn't been, but we'll see. I know Zeke has been limited with the knee injury, but that he sustained last week. But I think he'll be fine. Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate it. Masenko says, "Why do Brady's successors suck?" I don't even know what that even means. Why do Brady's successors suck? As in who? Like Mac Jones? He's a rookie. What do you want him to do? It's pretty hard to transition from, the NCAA to being a professional against some of these defenses. So I don't know what you're implying. I don't think Mac Jones sucks. I think he's actually pretty good. He's far better than I thought he was going to be totally honest. And that's great. Now, him doing some shenanigans in which he's grabbing kneecaps, not grabbing kneecaps. I mean, he grabbed an ankle. Artie Burns kind of rolled over himself like an idiot, and it all went bad. But either way, I don't really think that Brady's successor sucked. Jimmy Garoppolo was able to take a team to the Super Bowl. Jacoby Brissett has made some good money over the last couple of years as a backup. So, to be honest, I'm not too worried about it. Bakari sends in a donation. Thank you very much. Says, drop Julio for Ayuk, flex 1, DJ Moore, Julio, Ayuk, Javonte, or Gibby. I mean, of the group, oh, man. I think I'd rather just play Javonte Williams out of the group. If I'm dropping Julio for Ayuk, man, I don't want to do it, but I'd say let's just give it one more week. Like, Julio's pretty comfortable playing against, NFC South teams. So let's see what he can put together against the New Orleans Saints. And if he's able to do something, then that's great. If not, we could just drop him and it'll be the end of it, Big Moose says, Stephon Diggs, I'm skeptical on playing him. Have CeeDee Lamb. So your options are Stephon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb. If you want to play CeeDee, by all means, go ahead and do so. I don't think there's that much of a difference between the two. I prefer Stephon Diggs, but yeah, if you want to put up an Eagles logo and play CeeDee Lamb, no, I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter who you root for. It doesn't matter if it's a rival team. Regardless, yeah, if you want to play CeeDee Lamb, by all means, go for it. I don't have a problem with that. Derek Just says, full PPR 10-team league. My quarterback is Josh Allen. Running backs are Kamara, Hunt, Fournette, Pollard, Jacobs. Wide receivers are Hopkins, Beasley, Amari Cooper, Shepard, Devontae Parker, Renfro, Russell Gage, Tim Patrick. My gosh, your roster's too much. Goddard, Ertz, 5 and 4, third place. Any trade ideas? Okay, let's think about this. Kamara, Fournette, Hunt, Jacobs. Okay, you can survive even if Kamara doesn't play this week with Jacobs and Fournette. Hunt will eventually come back. Kamara will eventually come back. Your running backs are set. You really don't even have to touch them. As for your wide receivers, Hopkins, Beasley, Amari Cooper. So Hopkins and Amari Cooper are there. Hopkins is going to be injured this week, most likely won't play. So it'll be Amari Cooper and Beasley. I'm okay with that as well. The rest of your wide receivers, I'm not too fond of Devontae Parker, Sterling Shepard. I think Russell Gage and Tim Patrick will help you in the next coming weeks. Goddard and Ertz. To be totally honest, the biggest upgrade you could probably make is most likely tight end or wide receiver too. I wouldn't mind grabbing Amari Cooper off of a big week sometime in the future, and maybe taking one of those tight ends and trying to upgrade a wide receiver too. Or if someone is desperate enough to where they want Amari Cooper and a lesser running back like Jacobs, and you have a healthy Kamara and a Hunt, I don't mind going ahead and upgrading for a wide receiver in that regard as well. Because I don't know if Hopkins is going to be able to pull it as we get to the late stages here. You might be able to even move Hopkins and try to get a wide receiver because, he just keeps getting injured. Kyler keeps, having to miss some weeks here. Their value is beginning to diminish. And hopefully, health isn't the reason why they miss out on some games here going forward and end up, just blowing away their 8-1 record. But yeah, I think those are the best ways to go about this. Hopkins and Amari Cooper can be messed around with. Try to go upgrade at wide receiver. That's your biggest downfall as of right now going forward. Thank you very much, Derek. Alex Santos says, D'Ernest Johnson, Elijah Mitchell, Devontae Smith at the flex this week. If Nick Chubb is not playing, I'm playing D'Ernest Johnson. If he is playing, I'd play Elijah Mitchell there. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Cody says, pick one, running back D'Ernest Johnson or Darrell Williams. So between the two, first and foremost, if Nick Chubb is playing, D'Ernest Johnson is not in any capacity going to be touched. Assuming Nick Chubb is out, I would 100% play D'Ernest Johnson over Darrell Williams this week. And in the flex, Renfro or Landry or the other running back. Okay, so if, for example, Darrell Williams, right, because that is the current topic in the flex, I would play Darrell Williams, assuming Clyde Edwards-Helaire does not play this week, because he did practice already this week. And if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is made active to play this upcoming Sunday, then I don't want to touch Darrell Williams. And then I would go with Renfro. So if Chubb is out, play D'Ernest. If Clyde is out, play Darrell Williams in the flex. Otherwise, if both of those, holy moly, if both the starters for those teams, if Chubb returns and Clyde returns, you have to play Darrell Williams at running back because he has more upside for touches, and then you'd have to play Renfro at flex. Okay, cool. Thank you. Man, there's so many issues. There's so many injuries. Bob sends in a question, says, trade Kupp, Kittle for Devontae and Andrews, ? I would rather have Kupp and Kittle rest of the season. Thank you very much, Bob. Garrett Cross says, do I trade Stafford, Jefferson, David Montgomery, and the Bills defense for Kamara and Keenan Allen? No. Saying struggling bad at running back since Henry is hurt and Montgomery all injured. Yeah, so Montgomery's fine. He's going to come back. He's going to carry your team. I personally would not make that trade. Unless somehow, some way, Stafford is not your starting quarterback, and somehow, some way, you're just like, hey, I'm willing to dump him. I don't need the Bills defense because I have a better defense sitting on my bench. I think I'm just keeping what you have. Because if Stafford's your starter and it's going to force you to have to start Matt Ryan for the rest of the season, I'd rather not do that. So I don't know what your entire roster looks like up and down, but in the vacuum, as the just straight up 4 for 2, I would rather have the 4 side. FF says standard Wide receiver start: Chris Godwin, Cortland Sutton, Claypool. So this is what I'll tell you. I would 100% play a hurt Chris Godwin over Claypool and Sutton. So between those three receiving options, I'd rather play Godwin hobbled without a leg than Sutton or Claypool this week. They've just been that disappointing as of late. As for your running backs, Michael Carter, Mark Ingram, two flexes with, so in a standard league, I'm not going to play Michael Carter over Mark Ingram. I would play Ingram there because Michael Carter is more of a receiving back and won't have as much touchdown upside in my opinion. And then for two flexes, got it. So if, let's say, for example, I'm starting two wide receivers. Well, actually, no. If I'm starting one wide receiver, one running back, and two flex options, is that what you're saying? Two flexes with mentioned running backs and wide receivers. And then we have Hunter Henry, Logan Thomas, J.D. McKissic. Okay, cool. Awesome. So this is the way I'd go about it. I'm going to play Godwin there at the receiver position, Ingram there at your running back position. Then I'd play J.D. McKissic in your flex, and I'd probably play Hunter Henry as your starting tight end because I don't know if Logan Thomas is going to play this week. And then I'd follow it up with whoever is healthy at wide receiver, Claypool or Sutton. Actually, no, sorry. I'd play Carter. So Carter, McKissic at your flex. Ingram at running back, Godwin at wide receiver. God, this is so complicated. Bizarre Ride number 2 says, is it a concern that Christian McCaffrey plays Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans in the playoffs? No. Look, here's the thing about Christian McCaffrey. First and foremost, he's too good of a running back. He's matchup proof, first and foremost. Like, throughout his entire career, when he's been healthy and at a full capacity, regardless of who plays at the quarterback position, the dude is just unstoppable. He's 20-plus points a week. So, did my internet just go out? No, please no. Internet revive, please. Oh, man. I'm hoping the internet, because the KBS is dipped hard. Maybe it's a glitch. It's coming back now. Okay. Hopefully my internet doesn't go out. If my internet goes out, there's the winds around my house are pretty bad. I would say that to the very least right now. So if it gets knocked out completely, do not be surprised. Just a fair warning. And then that would basically mean the stream is over at that point, because if my internet gets knocked out, it would take probably 20 minutes to come back because it's just trash here. So hopefully it's not a big deal. But yeah, I saw a thing on my OBS, my streaming system, that was like, get ready for explosion. Like literally the warning was there. Okay, either way. So to answer your question, Christian McCaffrey's bulletproof. He'll be fine. Don't worry about him. Am I concerned about it? No. As long as the guy is catching the ball out of the backfield, nobody can really stop him. Nobody can. Yes, it's going to be difficult for him to get work on the ground, but that just leads to more receptions. And when more receptions are there, especially in a half full PPR, we're good to go. Let's see here. Play-by-play says, Michael Carter or DJ Moore half PPR? I would play Michael Carter this week. Cody sends in another question, says, I got CEH too. Okay, Cody, let me scroll up to your prior question. So we have D'Ernest Johnson there. Okay, cool. So if CEH does play, I would play him over Darrell Williams. But that, again, is assuming that D'Ernest Johnson, has no Nick Chubb. So if D'Ernest Johnson has no Nick Chubb, D'Ernest plays, then I'd play CEH at the flex. Okay, cool. Thank you. Enrique says, hope you had a great day. Thank you. I did very much. Thanks for all the help. I want a good wide receiver for my team. My running backs are Zeke, Jonathan Taylor, Robinson, Saquon, Carson. Wide receivers are A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, Odell Beckham Jr., and Christian Kirk. Okay, cool. A lot of abbreviations there, but I was able to get through it. So, of all of the receivers you have, I'm willing to trade literally all of them except for A.J. Brown. So, I'm willing to move DJ Moore, Odell Beckham Jr., and Christian Kirk. I'm willing to move them all. So, how do you accompany that with another player to go get another wide receiver? I mean, honestly, you may be able to very easily go ahead, grab Chris Carson in one of these or two of these wide receivers and make a trade. Now, if you're playing in a smaller league, because, again, you do have Zeke and Taylor, so I'm assuming it's probably a smaller league, probably 10 teams. The only thing that may move the needle is running back. So I'd be willing to go ahead and grab James Robinson and a DJ Moore or an Odell Beckham, somebody that has name value in your league that may entice people in your league. Grab two of those guys and go get an improved wide receiver. Now, the question is, who is considered an improved wide receiver in Andrew's eyes? Let's go ahead. Let me pull up a list here. Let me see what the heck's going on at the wide receiver position. Alrighty, here we go. I mean, the immediate thing that comes to my mind is like you might be able to go and get an affordable Michael Pittman, but that would be with like Carson and DJ Moore, rather than going ahead and spending like James Robinson. Because if you're gonna move James Robinson, I want insane value back. Like I want DK Metcalf, right? If I'm gonna give you James Robinson and like an OBJ or a DJ Moore, I want extremely good value back. I want top wide receivers. I want Jamar Chase. I want DK Metcalf. And if I'm not getting that in return, then we're not interested. Now, if you want to go for the top tier, try to go get a Tyreek Hill off someone, assuming they're not feeling the vibes of Patrick Mahomes, you might be able to go ahead and do that as well. Go grab one of these top tier running backs and just go straight 1-for-1. You're like, hey, I got Saquon. You want to give you want to give me Tyreek Hill? They might take it, honestly. But my preference for your specific team right now is that I want to keep Zeke, Taylor, and Saquon. Those are the three that I want for the rest of the season. So I'm willing to, keep James Robinson as the number 4. But if he's going to move the needle for someone and get you top tier wide receiver talent, then let's go for it. Derek sends in another question. Says, I got offered Woods for Hopkins, full PPR with my OBJ coming to the Rams. Would you take Woods or would you just go ahead and hold Hopkins? I would hold Hopkins. I don't really want Woods at like that kind of capacity. I'd hold Hopkins. C. Banger says, who would you flex, McLaurin, Lamb, or Hawkinson? I personally am going to flex Lamb in that scenario. I think McLaurin's actually last on that list. I don't know if I want to start him. Like, he could certainly come off with a great game, but he's had 3 good games and then 5 really bad games. So that kind of leans me towards I'm going to play Lamb. And I don't even care who I go second there. I'm going to play Lamb over everyone in that regard. Gabriel says 12 team full PPR. I'm 7-2. Okay, great record. That's fantastic. 2 flexes. We have Kyler, Christian McCaffrey, Connor, DK, Keenan Allen, Andrews, Cooks. Wow, great team overall. Darrell Williams. Bench is Tony, Mooney, AJ Green, Dylan, Fuller, Derrick Henry. Trade for ? Okay, so who are we trading for? I mean, look, at running back, Connor's going to be able to last. If Connor stays healthy, which hopefully he does, you don't even have to move him. And even when Chase Edmonds comes back, I think Connor might be just like solidified himself in that role as the full-time starter 3-down back. So you don't have to move running backs. You don't want to touch your wide receivers. It's pretty much how do we improve that final flex spot? Because Brandon Cooks is fine there, but Darrell Williams is going to go bye-bye soon with, of course, Clyde Edwards-Helaire returning from the injured reserve. So how do we go ahead and improve that? It's going to be tough to do it because I think Mooney could probably be a flex play there, but I don't think you can trade Mooney for anybody because I'd want a running back there, but I don't think you can get one technically. And I don't want to trade any of your other pieces because I think they're just perfect. So for right now, I'd say you're looking to try to go ahead and get another flex option. Otherwise, you're playing Mooney there. Man, how do we improve that? I don't want to trade these receivers. I like Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf rest of the season. I like Christian McCaffrey, Connor. I might, look to trade Kyler Murray, try to get a downgrade at quarterback, but then upgrade also with a flex. So send Kyler, get back Carson Wentz and a flex. I might try to do something like that if it's available out there for me. But you got to find someone that's willing to go ahead and pick up an injured quarterback. That's the question at hand. Persian Sneakerhead says, Corey Davis or Brandon Ayuk this week? This is something that I have been turning around in my mind quite some time. Earlier today, I'm still probably leaning with Ayuk because I don't know what the heck I'm going to see out of Mike White and Corey Davis. I don't know. The Bills offense, the Bills defense. Look, the Bills defense is good. And I know that the Jets offense has looked relatively good in the last couple weeks, but they've also played against Cincinnati and Indianapolis. So I think the Bills are a different monster as an entirety. So I'm probably just going to lean with Ayuk there. But it has been something in my mind that I've thought, maybe Corey Davis might be a play this week, but I haven't got to a point of 100% solidifying that. Gustavo Vega, thank you very much for the donation, says, what should I upgrade in a standard 10-team league? We have Hurts at quarterback, Hill and Jefferson at wide receiver, Christian McCaffrey, Kamara, Barkley at running back, Waller at tight end. Okay, in a standard league, I think you can really upgrade in a lot of points here. Because your guys aren't that touchdown. Okay, so Tyreek Hill's as touchdown upside as you can get. I don't think I'm touching Tyreek Hill. Justin Jefferson hasn't been great, but I know Kubiak, their offensive coordinator, came out and said that we're going to obviously target him more as we progress here. Hopefully that is fine. You don't really have to look like here's my thought process. When I look at this team, typically I don't have any teams that look like this because all the leagues I play in are 12 team, 14 team, 16 team leagues. So when I look at this team, I think you really don't have any issues. But at the same time, you're playing in a standard league. So Darren Waller doesn't score touchdowns. How do you upgrade that? You try to go get Kelsey. How do you get Kelsey? Well, I mean, it looks like you'd have to give away Waller and another piece, which I don't want to do. So really can't move there. As for Kamara, Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey, you don't really move there because unless you're going to get Jonathan Taylor, that's the only upgrade you can make at running back. Go give, Kamara, but nobody's going to give you that. No one's going to want to take Barkley. Nobody's want to take Kamara with the questions, regarding him and his injury right now. Christian McCaffrey, they don't know what the heck kind of commodity that is, especially in a standard league where he doesn't get points for reception. It's just rough to touch those pieces. So if you can upgrade and go get, a Jonathan Taylor at running back, and it's not going to cost you more than one of these running backs, then by all means, I would look to do it. But otherwise, I like your wide receivers. If I'm upgrading Jefferson, I'd probably upgrade that to A.J. Brown because I think A.J. Brown has more touchdown upside going forward. Jalen Hurts is fine at quarterback, but if you can always move that and turn that into Tom Brady, I don't think it's a bad idea. That's the only things that I have in mind. It's really a matter of what you have on your bench and how you can potentially move those pieces in order, to kind of upgrade it. Ish Ram says, half PPR, Mike Williams, trade for Mike Evans. Yeah, I would do that. I don't mind it. I'll take Mike Evans rest of the season. KJ says, Pittman over Deebo Samuel this week because of the matchup and with Kittle being back. Deebo Samuel was a full participant in practice today. He was not listed on the injury report, which makes me very confident in his potential upside this week. With that being said, I don't mind playing Pittman over him. I think both these guys are incredible plays this week. I would say, KJ, how can't you start both of them? You might have, it's just too good of a roster prior to that. So I want to play both, but yeah, I don't mind playing Pittman over Deebo this week in a full PPR. Rusty Wright says half PPR. I'm 5-5 in the mix. How are you 5-5? There's only been 9 weeks. What's going on there, Rusty? Probably 5-4. Either way, in the mix. Let's see here. Says I want Diggs. I want Diggs. Should I offer J-Rob, Montgomery, or Melvin Gordon III? Pair with Sutton, Emmanuel Sanders, Ayuk, Elijah Moore. Start Lenny, Cordy, Adams, and Deontay. Okay, so you have Leonard Fournette, you have Cordero Patterson, you have Adams, and you have Deontay Johnson, and you're asking who you should trade for Diggs. If you can trade Melvin Gordon for Diggs, I would. I'd rather have J-Rob and I'd rather have David Montgomery rest of the season. So if you're going to trade Melvin Gordon and you're going to attach it to Emmanuel Sanders or Ayuk or Elijah Moore or Sutton, I don't care. One of them, pick one and send it and let's get it. Because honestly, I'd rather have Diggs rest of the season. So if someone is willing to take that from you, by all means, you should do that. Let's see here. Juchanan says, I don't even know if that's how I'm supposed to pronounce that name, but either way, I'm trying to get better at offering trades. Example, if buying a high-end wide receiver 2, do you give a low-end wide receiver 2 plus an RB3? Okay, look, here's the thing. Trades are really specific to the league you play in. Because I don't think two identical trades could happen in 2 different leagues. I think the value of a player is 100% determined by how much that prospective manager that you're talking to values them. Like if I have Christian McCaffrey, but the guy I'm talking to does not think shit of Christian McCaffrey. He thinks he's a bum, right? I can't sell him Christian McCaffrey despite all of the storied history and statistics, right? If I can't sell a player to somebody because they just don't value him high enough, then I can't do anything, right? So it's really just a matter of what do they want? It's not a matter of, hey, this is fair because he's a wide receiver 2 and a low-end RB3, and that is a fair trade for this. It's truly what they value their player at. And I don't know what they value their player at. So in some leagues, I have to pay more for some players than in others, right? I may be able to very easily trade, Robert Woods straight up 1-for-1 for Michael Pittman in a league. And then in another league, I got to turn around and I got to trade Michael Carter and Robert Woods for a Michael Pittman, right? There are some leagues in which some players are just far too valuable because it's just what their manager values them at. So I mean, if you're going after a high-end wide receiver too, I mean, in my opinion, you have to probably give okay, well, let me think about this. If I'm going after a wide receiver, or if someone's asking me, hey, let me think about a high-end wide receiver too. If someone wants my Mike Evans, right? And I think about him as a high-end wide receiver too, because I think his stats will kind of, lean out as we progress throughout the season with AB coming back, Gronk coming back. But let's say, for example, somebody wants my Mike Evans off my roster. If they approach me, they have to give me someone in that low-end wide receiver 2 category. Let's say, for example, what's the name that comes to mind? Let's say Michael Pittman. Let's throw him out there. They want to give me Michael Pittman. Okay, 1 for 1, I'm going to keep my Mike Evans. But if they're going to also go ahead and sneak in J.D. McKissic on the side, an RB3, I'm not interested in that. You got to give me even better. You got to give me like RB2 talent almost sneaking into that range, or something like handcuff worthy. Like, you got to give me Mark Ingram on top of it, and I'm a Kamara owner. There's so many things that go into trading that just are like unspoken rules, but it's just really, what does that guy value those specific players at? And though that idea is so vague, it's because it is. It's because it just depends on what that guy's willing to give or take. Derek sends in another donation. Thank you very much, Derek. You've been sending them all in, bro. You just have to type in the chat. You don't even have to send in messages anymore, my guy. Says full PPR, 12 team, second team overall. Okay, we have the second team here. We have the QB as Dak. Running back is Zeke, Hunt, D'Ernest Johnson, Damian Harris, Pollard, Hines. Wide receivers are Hopkins, Thielen, Renfro, Sutton, Myers, Lazard, Peoples-Jones, and Waller at my 10, and I'm 4 and 5 trade ideas. Okay, so we're not moving Dak. We're not trading Waller. We're keeping Zeke. We're keeping Damian Harris. Okay, I mean, literally, your running back position could kill you the rest of the season. It really could. So where are we looking to move here? What are the ideas? Man, we really can't move here. Okay, let's see. Wow. Because you can't move D-Hop. Because if you move D-Hop, your starting wide receivers are Renfro and Thielen. And rest of the season, that doesn't seem like it's much fun. I'm going to be totally honest, Derek. In this kind of a team, if you're sitting at 4 and 5 and you're thinking to yourself, I can't compete with some of these teams, I'm grabbing Zeke and I'm branching him into 2 different players. I'm making sure I get like a high-end wide receiver 2, high-end RB2 to come back to me. I'm going to take Zeke and make somebody give me Leonard Fournette and Keenan Allen. That's what I want. And if I can get that, I think I'll be fine rest of the season, because I upgrade both the positions of need, because I have injuries and I have situations where I need to go ahead and upgrade. So if you can get something like that going, I don't mind that. Fasty says, standard league flex. This week we have D'Ernest Johnson and Adam Thielen. In a standard league, I'm playing D'Ernest Johnson if Chubb is out. I'm starting Cook, Fournette, Kupp, and McLaurin. Yeah, at this point, I'm perfectly fine with your roster. But it's just a matter of whether or not Nick Chubb plays. So that is your determining factor. If Chubb plays, you go with Thielen. If he doesn't, you play D'Ernest Johnson. Thank you. Joe says, got burned by Gesicki. Dude, don't worry. Join the club. This is many people may think this is a Q&A. This is, in fact, quite the opposite. This is an AA meeting. We're all here losing our minds because actually, this is a therapy session. That's what it is. It's not really an AA meeting. This is a therapy session. And we're all struggling because of, the 7 targets, 0 catch day of Mike Gesicki. Unfortunate. FF says, Russell Wilson, Godwin, Mike Williams. My running backs are Devontae Freeman, played it today. Mark Ingram. We have Waller. We have 2 flex spots with Sutton, Claypool, Henry, Carter, McKissic, or Thomas. FF, I'm going to play Carter and McKissic in your flex spots like we talked about earlier. True Gentleman for you says, should I trade Mike Williams for Woods? You could. I don't mind it. I think okay, let me think about this. It says, would you start 2 wide receivers in the same team? We have Kupp and Woods. Start 2 Terry McLaurin, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, Patterson. Okay, so let's talk about the trade first and foremost. Would I rather play Mike Williams or Robert Woods rest of season? I think I'm at a point where I'm probably thinking it's going to be even. I don't think Mike Williams is going to be bad or as this bad for the rest of the season. But I am leaning towards the idea of Robert Woods, right? Because he's just been far more consistent. And consistency wins out the day. So for right now, I don't mind it. Even if it's 2 wide receivers on the same team, I'm not against it. But it's just a matter of what the heck happens with OBJ. Does he come in and actually make a huge impact and take away from Woods? I don't think he does, and that's why I'm comfortable with this. With that being said, in terms of who I'm starting for you this upcoming weekend between Terry McLaurin, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, and Patterson, Patterson's an automatic play. So he plays over all four of those or three of those other options. As for the other options there, Deontay Johnson or Mike Williams, so this is the order in which I'd play it, guys. I play Patterson, Deontay, Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin in that exact order, okay? Thank you very much. Okie dokie. All right, really quickly, just wanted to do something real quick. Let's move that a little bit there. Okay, so really what I wanted to do here is I wanted to add an image because earlier today, so I drafted a team yesterday at literally like 1 a.m. I thought to myself, let me just go ahead and draft a team. Let's see what comes of it. You see this thing right here? Let me go look at my phone was charging. Let me adjust this really quickly. Holy moly! All right, we're adjusting on the fly. So I went ahead and I drafted a team for this Thursday's contest via Underdog Fantasy. And what did I actually win? I won $30. Damn, dude, I am so close. I'm on the cusp, guys, of getting the $1,000 prize pool at the end of this tunnel. Or, I think like the number one player gets like 10 grand. Dude, I am on the cusp. So I was able to put together this team as the number 3 draft pick on this Thursday's contest, right? I drafted this, I'm not even kidding, 3 a.m. yesterday or this morning. And I was like, let's just go ahead and give it a shot. Dude, good looking team. Mac Hollins kills me because Wilson and Isaiah Ford want to show up and kill it. But either way, it was a $10 entry, $130, not bad. And honestly, it wasn't that difficult because they fed me these players. Like, people are going after Gesicki, Waddle, Marquise Brown. Dude, I'm like, if you're going to give me Mark Andrews the 3rd pick, and then I'm going to follow with Devontae Freeman, obviously. Bateman comes back to me in the 3rd round. My goodness, that's free money. And then Mac Hollins kills me because, who would have thought, right? But either way, check out Underdog Fantasy for those of you guys who haven't checked them out. It's fun. I'm telling you, it's another way that, these boring Thursday games actually end up winning you some cash. KJ sends in another question, says, with Chubb out, I have Eckler, Collins, Carson, Kenyon Drake. Full PPR pick 2. All right, let's see here. Eckler, Collins, Carson, Drake. Full PPR. So I'm playing Eckler. If Carson plays, I'm playing Carson. If he doesn't, I play Kenyon Drake. Thank you very much. Ricardo says, do you think Deebo Samuel will get back on track now that he is off the injury report? I do believe so. Yes, he should be a full play and should be great going into this upcoming week. Joey says, should I trade Christian McCaffrey for Zeke and Mike Evans? It depends how badly you need wide receiver. I wouldn't, mainly because I know that probably Zeke, and there could be some weeks where Christian McCaffrey outscores both of them combined. Not kidding. So yeah, that is a relevant potential possibility. Hey Andrew, love your video. Should I trade Aaron Jones, DK Metcalf, Kyler Murray for Russ and Jonathan Taylor? I have Stafford, Amari, Eckler behind them. I mean, it depends who your wide receiver is, because if you're giving DK Metcalf away and you're only getting back Taylor, it may not be the wisest decision there. Chubb could be cleared by Sunday. Yes, he could be cleared, or he could be not cleared, and that could be unfortunate. I traded Barkley and OBJ for Jonathan Taylor, but my league vetoed it. Do you think this was unfair? They said it favored the Jonathan Taylor side. I think it also... okay, look, here's the thing. There's one of two ways going about this, guys. If you're playing with people that are your friends, like legitimately these are your friends, family, and all these kind of, co-workers, and you guys all are homies, and there's no problem there, right? There shouldn't be any trades that are ever vetoed unless there is suspicion of collusion, right? Like a 1-8 team is trading away their best player to a 6-win team. That is collusion, in my opinion, right? Because the 1-8 team is already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, right? So unless it's collusionary and there could be reasons to believe of such, as long as there's 2 consenting adults saying this is a trade that I want, then why would you ever veto it? I mean, the analogy, or not the analogy, the actual reality that I have seen in the past is that there have been 2 teams. One of them wanted, it was a 4-for-4 trade. One of the sides were significantly better than the other. I accepted the trade in my league, and legitimately the week after, the side that was a far better side in terms of the trade, all those players, legitimately, I can't even express to you. It had Carson Wentz, OBJ, it had a running back, I don't remember who it was. This was in 2018. All 4 of those players got hurt all in a singular week. Or was it 2017? I think it was 2018. It was some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. So I always accept trades unless there's a collusionary idea behind it. Always, because You know, you guys are homies. You guys wouldn't try to, do that kind of stuff to each other unless you would. And then at that point, you can go ahead and kill it. But personally, if it's me, I do think that Jonathan Taylor's side is significantly better. And I can understand why your league vetoed it, but, what are we talking about? I mean, if everybody's friends here and everyone's accepting it because, hey, I want, Saquon Barkley, OBJ rest of the season because I think they'll be better, then why not give him that chance? Let's see here. Silver Soul Jones says, LMAO, thank God I benched Gaskin. Love the channel. Keep up the grind. Helping thousands of people, man. Thank you very much, Silver Soul. Appreciate that and the kind words and the donation. All right, let's see here. Should I trade Woods and Henderson for Adams? I don't think I should. I mean, look, Micah, if you have enough running backs where you can afford to give away Henderson, then by all means you should. But I don't think you will. There's no way you have enough running backs where like Henderson is just like fodder. There's no way. Gesicki with the Zero Burger, yeah, dude. Don't even get us started. We're only just getting over it in the last 30 minutes here. Man, it's been rough. It's been rough. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Flynn says DJ Moore, Carter, or Scary Terry this week. I'm going to be totally honest. I think I'm playing Michael Carter. I don't think I trust Heineke or PJ Walker to get the job done. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I end up being wrong, but I can't trust it right now. It doesn't compute in my mind and make me think, yeah, I'm 100% excited about that. I'm not. I really am not. I have Zeke and Eckler, says Micah. Yeah, but who's your third running back? Like, who's playing in the flex? That's the question. Because if you can play Henderson in the flex all year long, then I'm doing that. I'd rather have that. Because if you don't have somebody playing that flex, it's tough. Adolfo says, I hate vetoes. Peeps want, yeah, look, this is what I hate about vetoes also. Adolfo, you make a good point. If people in your league are vetoing just to make sure that you don't get a better team, that's collusionary. Because they're going, oh, we can't make him, he's already the number one team. We can't let him get any better. Let's veto him down. I hate that. That's horrible. I mean, there's nothing more valuable than having a fair and just commissioner in your league that just plays it by the book and accepts everything and just lets it go. And obviously we'll inquire on some things that look collusionary, but otherwise are going, Judy or Sutton? I'm playing Judy 10 times out of 10 this week, maybe even 11 over Sutton. Any chance I bench Lockett or McLaurin for Judy or Devonta Smith? I don't mind the idea of I'm getting warmed up to Jerry Jeudy. I've been watching the game the last couple weeks games back for the Denver Broncos. NFL Game Pass is actually great. You can pretty much watch all the replays, and then there's the condensed version where it's like a zoomed out angle, literally like the top of the bleachers, so you can see the defense progress from like they're sitting in a cover 2 shell and then they break off into the cover. It's crazy stuff. But anyway, I'm getting warmed up to Jerry Jeudy. Maybe by Sunday morning we get to a point where we're playing him over McLaurin, but we'll see. When there's money involved, veto will happen. Absolutely, Jason. People get greedy. People want to go ahead and win really bad, and I get it. It happens. It's just something that like you won't be able to fix. It's tough. D-Hop or Lockett this week? I don't think that D-Hop plays, Peter. I'm going to be honest. I think you're just going to have to play Lockett there because I'm not sure about D-Hop's injury. Let's see here. Thank you, Goat. Yep, thank you. You're welcome, bad guy Riri. Lemuel Chan says, start Tyler Johnson. Okay. Is Godwin out? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if Godwin's out. But if it's Tyler Johnson or Jacoby Myers, I'm going to probably play Tyler Johnson this week. Or Ty Johnson. Start Carter or Howard? I'm going to play Carter in a half PPR. Any trade ideas? I have Carson, Jacobs, Waddle, Deontay Johnson. Who I don't start? Thank you. Okay, cool. So if you're not starting these players, I am 100% down to take Carson or Jacobs, accompany that with Deontay Johnson, and go get a massive upgrade at running back. Like, when I mean massive, like, obviously what I want is give me DeAndre Swift, give me Nick Chubb, give me one of those players. Give me Aaron Jones. Like, if you can go get one of those guys for 2 players, by all means, you should try to do it. Really, you should. I'm even at a point where I'm willing to go ahead and take Jacobs and Waddle and trade it for David Montgomery. So, if you're probably not using those players, I want to 2-for-1 it and just send it. Go get massive upgrades. Let's see here. Adolfo said, okay, thank you very much, Adolfo. I appreciate that. Drop Ertz or Arnold for Freiermuth. Yeah, I don't mind dropping either of them, to be totally honest. I think Ertz is good. Probably is worth keeping over Arnold, so I'd probably just drop Arnold and pick up Fryer. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, so Manny says choose one. Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, or Cam Newton. Is that for rest of season? Because I know Cam Newton's not going to play this week. So if we're talking rest of season, I think I'm still going to keep with Carson Wentz. But I mean, if Cam Newton comes out and he's just a completely different animal and just dominates off the rip and is able to sling the rock like his shoulder's completely healed, that would be fantastic. Reminder, I mean, we haven't seen him play all season long, and health has really been his issue throughout his career. So if this man is healthy and in shape and ready to go, whoo, it's going to be nice. I'm ready. But yeah, for right now, we keep with Carson. Let's see here. Banger says, 10-team, 2-quarterback league, PPR, Stafford and Wentz are my starters. Awesome. Okay, we have Taysom and Newton on the bench. Okay, cool. Literally no quarterbacks on waivers at the moment. Stafford got a bye next week. Thoughts? Cam Newton will be the starter next week. So no worries. You can play Cam Newton and Carson Wentz. You'll be good to go. They're only just going to implement Cam Newton into the offense next week because he has to catch up. It's too short of a week to play him against the defense like Arizona. No reason to get him out there and get him injured in a game that is pretty much already an L. Don't need it. Don't need it. Do you think Kamara plays this week? Honestly, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think there's a chance that he does, but they don't need him to. That's the entire point. Rampaging Spartan says, pick 2, Trey Lance for the upcoming playoffs, rolling with Burrow, currently 7-2. Pick up Trey Lance. Sorry. I would pick up Trey Lance. Tomorrow, I will be posting a strength of schedule video with expanded schedules for the remaining weeks, which include, week 10 through 17. And of course, so 10 through 14, 15 through 17, and then all of it together, just to give you guys some perspective as to who has the easiest matchups going forward. Dude, I'm telling you guys, Trey Lance, if in fact Jimmy Garoppolo cannot win this team enough games, he gets injured somehow, Trey Lance is going to have, I think he plays against Atlanta, Tennessee, and Houston in the fantasy football playoffs, weeks 15, 16, and 17. He'll run all over them, and with Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk there, and I'm excited about the potential there. Is it time to trade Debo or hold? Chris, I'm going to hold him, to be totally honest. Where's the merch, Drew? Says Pete Diaz. Pete, I always see you in the comment section saying, hey, I'm waiting for the merch. Listen, I'm a person that I don't want to rush things, right? I want it to be of the highest possible quality. Not even just in material, but in terms of the graphic, right? And I've been working on the graphic for a while, and I don't think it's perfect yet. And I want it to be perfect because, again, I'm not trying to just cash in. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to actually sell like stuff that is really quality. So when it's ready, it's ready. And as to when that's going to be, we'll see. It could be this year. It could not be this year. It could be next year. And we're just going to have to wait. But again, I am working on it. It is coming. Me and my graphic guy have been working on it for a while now. So we'll obviously keep you guys up to date. But for right now, I'm not trying to rush any process. I want it to be at the highest potential peak quality there. So, we're in a position where, you guys are excited about it. Let's see here. So Abdullah says, I want Jonathan Taylor. I have Barkley, J-Rob, Devontae, Marquise Brown, Kelsey, OBJ, Ridley to offer. Thoughts on who I should trade? The person with JT wants a good wide receiver. Great. I would give him Devontae Adams. If he wants to take Devontae Adams, by all means, he could take Devontae Adams. If he's not going to want it straight up 1-for-1, you can give him OBJ as well. If he doesn't want OBJ as well, I don't know what else you have to offer because I don't want to give him Marquise Brown and Devontae Adams for just one running back. So for right now, I would say, yeah, give him Devontae Adams and maybe some other, scrap on the end. Enrique says, why did you get into football? Why did I get into football? That's a very broad. In what capacity do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean by that? Like, how did I get into fantasy or how did I get into football? Because those are two different stories. And both of them are long. So I'm curious, Enrique. Let me know. Pete says, make sure it's an epic beard. Yeah, don't worry. Listen, dude, it's getting there. It's getting there. My beard will be on it. Don't worry. Kick off with the Kirchhoff tee. Yeah, listen, Justin, that's a good idea. But yeah, no, listen, I've thought of everything. There's a lot of stuff. Listen, we'll get there, guys. When the time comes, it's going to be fire, okay? Don't worry. Like, I'm not trying to just like literally get one little box graphic and put it in the middle of a shirt. No. I want like full sleeved merch, like actual. Okay. Anyway, we're getting there. We're getting there. Jeremy says, what is the latest update on Carson? Is he playing this week? Chances are he probably doesn't. The whole designation is whether or not he practices tomorrow. If he practices tomorrow, that is fantastic news. Because Friday is typically the day as to whether or not a player is going to play. So if we can get information regarding him practicing tomorrow, then he may play this Sunday. And if he does, I'm firing him up against Green Bay because I think Chris Carson's a monster. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see exactly what exactly is going to go on. But for right now, I have no clue. We'll just have to wait and see on what they would want to do with him. Ravens defense sold. Absolutely. That is not that's not something anybody's contesting right now, J. Michael. Nobody's contesting that. How long are you anticipating Kyler being out for? I think one more week. I think this is the final week that he's out. When is the Cardinals bye week? Let me check this, guys. Let's look at the Arizona Cardinals schedule. They have a week 12 bye. So, I mean, technically, because of how good their record is, they don't even have to bring him back till week 13. And that is really concerning. As a Kyler Murray manager, I'm beginning to worry myself that they might not. If Colt McCoy wins them this game this weekend, they go to 9-1, right? Of course you want, because you know the new playoff system is only one team gets a bye week, right? And then there's 7 teams, right? There's 7 teams competing. How does it work again? I think it's only one team gets a bye on each side, the AFC and the NFC. They want that number 1 spot. They're competing with Tampa Bay, the LA Rams, and they want to go ahead and solidify that. But they can afford to lose one game if they want to lose against Seattle with Colt McCoy. So if they want to keep him healthy, week 13 is probably when he would come back. Ozzy says, star, Andrew, I want help with Andrew Kirchhoff Fantasy Football and Espanol. What do you mean? How do I give you Andrew Kirchhoff Fantasy Football and Espanol? Listen, I've taken Spanish. I am not very good at Spanish. I speak a completely different language, okay? I am bilingual, but I do not speak Spanish. So I don't know how you would go about that. I mean, let's be totally honest, right? In terms of my content, all you got to do is just look at the rankings and then you'll be good. But no, I understand what you mean. I don't know how to get you. Is there not subtitles on my YouTube? Maybe there isn't subtitles for Spanish. I got to look into that. Something I got to look into. Enrique says, I meant football in general. All right, that's a good question. I'll answer that right now, how I got into football in general. Let's see here. If Kyler doesn't come back to week 13, should I ride? Who should I ride with? I have Derek Carr. Yeah, I mean, look, you could ride Derek Carr. It's not a problem. Andrew, your content is consistently fire. Okay, consistently fire. You deserve a larger following. Have you ever thought about doing a dynasty series? I've thought about it. You know what I've actually thought about? I've actually thought, okay, yeah, we'll talk about that in the future. But I've thought about different kind of dynasty series, specifically one where throughout the season, you guys just run my team. So I'll post like polls as to who we're starting, who we're picking up, and you guys just vote for it. And it's a community team. You know what I mean? And then if but we'll get that when we get there. And then if we win the whole thing, I'll donate a bunch of money to charity, stuff like that. So that there's a lot of ideas in this mind. Don't worry. I'm always thinking about this channel. So yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. There's a couple donations being sent in. FF says, appreciate you, Andrew. Took hits from Russell Wilson, Miles Sanders, biggest from Derrick Henry. I'm 4 and 5 with help of your videos and live stream. Could be worse. yeah, hopefully those guys, specifically Russell Wilson, comes back better than ever, and he's able to help you win some games here. Pukes2X says Mike Williams, Lamb, Landry, Ayuk, pick 3. We're playing Lamb, Mike Williams, and Landry this week. Thank you very much, Pukes. What do you think about trading Waller for Hawkinson and Swift? Absolutely get it done right now. Tucker, I'm not kidding. Take Hawkinson and Swift immediately. Automatic accept. No problem at all. Let's hope nobody in your team vetoes it, okay? If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, do I add Bridgewater or Heineke? I'd play Bridgewater this week. Let's see here. Carr or Cousins rest of season? I thought the answer was going to be Cousins, but now I'm kind of sitting in a position where I don't know. I'm going to probably still say Cousins, but it's tough because Carr's been so consistent this year. Freiermuth or Renfro in the flex this week? Claypool's out? Oh, Claypool's out. That's nice. If he's completely out, then, I mean, I'm playing Fryer. I'm good to go there. Rest of season, we have Devonta Smith or Emmanuel Sanders. I'd rather have Devonta Smith, to be honest. I think he has higher upside. Because Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox returns. There's a lot of noise to be made there that's pulling away from Emmanuel Sanders on a weekly basis. What do we got here? Any chances Higgins takes wide receiver 1 after bye? Higgins as in Rashad Higgins or T. Higgins? Do you mean T. Higgins like for the Cincinnati Bengals? I don't think there's a chance of that. Jamar Chase is too good. Let's see here. Okay. Pick 2, Ingram, Javonte, or McKissick. For right now, if Kamara is out, I'm playing Ingram. And then the next best option is Javonte, unless you're playing in a full PPR. If you are playing in a full PPR, I would play McKissick over Javonte. Thank you very much. Playboy Ninja says, Odell over DJ Moore, question mark, for the rest of the season? No. I would rather have DJ Moore because he's literally the only other guy that can catch the ball consistently for the Carolina Panthers, and Cam Newton is not that bad. So, yeah, I'd rather have DJ Moore than OBJ. Thank you. Christian Kirk or Claypool rest of the season? I mean, to be honest, Claypool looks like garbage because, they need a new quarterback. That should be their number one focus, getting Aaron Rodgers in the offseason. If they can do that, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be a significantly better team next year. So right now, I'd say Christian Kirk. Let's see here. Javonte. Okay, no, that might you're talking to somebody else. Yuck2K says, love the community you've managed, community managed dynasty team idea. I could see it blowing up as a content genre. Yeah, look, there's a lot of things that I've thought about in terms of content-wise, but it's just a matter of, is it going to hit, right? Because if it doesn't hit, is it too much of a, time constraint, and is there too many, variables to it, like getting all the votes? There's so many things, but I'm really interested in that idea. We'll see how it goes. Ozzy says, I have the equipment / studio. I'll translate for you. Oh, that's what you mean, Ozzy. So you want to translate. No. Listen, I would... look, so this is what I've heard. I have heard people of doing this, right? Like this idea where you translate for my content and then, send it out. I think there's one YouTuber that does this the most, right? His name is Mr. Beast. I think he has a translation for every single one of his videos in 20 different languages. Now, let's just have it as is, right? Mr. Beast is a completely different monster, right? There's a reason why he runs this damn entire food chain over here on YouTube. I mean, he's the top alpha. But either way, I don't know. I'll consider it. Send me an email, Ozzy. There's an email attached to my YouTube. If you go to, where is it? So if you go to my channel, and let me go to my own channel. And if you click on the About tab, so where it says home, videos, playlists, community channels, About, and then if you go to my business email, you can send that there and just kind of send, some information. We can talk about it. Tucker says, love you, buddy. Got me to 8-1. I mean, listen, I would love to take the credit for you going 8-1, but I mean, a lot of those decisions are probably yours. But either way, I appreciate it. We could fist bump and share the trophy at the end of the year there. Congrats, my guy. Let's close it out, though. We got to close it out. We can't just celebrate too early now. Thoughts on OBJ effect on Woods? Gallo, to be honest, I don't think it affects him that much. I think it kills more of Higbee and Jefferson's overall upside going forward. Let's see here. Elijah against the Rams is a bust. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ash. Justin Herbert or Dak this week? PPR, I'd play Dak. Kyle Pitts overall tight end number 1 next year? ? I think it's still Kelsey. Are you concerned about D-Hop going to the injured reserve? I'm not really hearing much stuff about that, Enrique. There's a possibility, but I haven't heard anything about that. Rest of season, Wentz or Kyler? I mean, it's Kyler, but he's got to be healthy. So, hopefully you just keep them both, right, on roster. And if Kyler doesn't play, you play Wentz in his stead. Paul says, honestly, do you think Derrick Henry will be coming back and be fantasy relevant? I love the channel 7 and 2. Great question, Paul. It's a matter of whether or not he is as superhuman / alien as we anticipate him to be. And my thought process is, if the injury is said 6 to 10 weeks, when did he get hurt? What was it? The end of week 8, if I'm not mistaken. So from week 8, okay, so let's say the beginning of week 9. Let's see here. When was that? That was Monday, the 1st of November. So if we're talking about 6 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he could technically come back. Let's say, for example, he takes another 2 weeks off. Let's say he comes back maybe the week 16, week 17. There's a very good chance he returns. Am I saying that he can? I have no clue. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what his recovery is going to look like. I don't know how much him being 260 pounds is going to affect a broken foot. I think all 5 metatarsals in his right foot all broke. So, I mean, he's got a fully busted foot. So I don't know if he comes back. But my hope is that he comes back in week 16 and 17 and he runs people over. And the team, of course, will be in the playoff hunt either way. So hopefully he's ready to go by then. But you never know. We'll see. James Conner or Mike Williams for the flex option. I play Conner there. Jeff Wilson worth keeping? No, I wouldn't. I would just toss him. Let him go. I mean, there's always a chance that Elijah Mitchell gets hurt, and you can go ahead and maybe take advantage of something like that. But I'm not too interested. Sandy sends in a question, says, should I back up Russell? ? Bridgewater or Cousins? I'd rather have Cousins the rest of the season as a backup. Already have Burrow on a bye on the bench. Oh, okay. So then, no, you what do you mean by that then? Russell Wilson's going to play this week, so I would not pick up Cousins or Bridgewater. I would, you keep Burrow and Wilson, you're good to go, my guy. Also, Fant or Goddard, I would play Fant this week, assuming he's healthy. I know he's coming off the COVID IR. I hope Najee Harris plays with the injury. Yeah, listen, I think he'll be fine. I'm not too worried about him. Let's see. I mean, there's a reason why they kept him limited all week so that he's ready to go. No problem, Paul. Thank you for coming. Hey, guys, listen. I appreciate you guys coming out, supporting the channel. I know it's late for some of you. Maybe you're on the East Coast. Some of you are in Germany. Some of you in Australia. Some of you in Brazil. Some of you in Europe. I appreciate every single one of you guys coming out today. For those of you who have served this country, I know today's Veterans Day. I want to thank you, the men and women that serve our country, United States of America. Those are the people we got to thank. So if there's anybody in the chat that has served or is currently actively serving, thank you very much. We cannot do what we do every day without you guys. Greatly appreciated. Outside of that, if you guys haven't yet already, of course, tomorrow, I have mentioned it as this live stream has gone on. I will be posting a video via rest of season strength of schedule. It will have some trade ideas within it. So like, hey, this guy's strength of schedule is incredible between weeks 14 through 17. Let's try to trade for him now and preemptively get, so it'll have a lot of other aspects to it, but hopefully it'll get you guys ready. D'Ernest Johnson or Adrian Peterson? I'm playing D'Ernest Johnson as long as Chubb is out. 100%, not even close. Tannehill or Cousins for the rest of the season? Probably Cousins, to be honest. Do you worry about DeAndre Hopkins every night? Vex, I can't sleep. DeAndre Hopkins keeps me up at night. No, honestly, he doesn't. I think he'll be fine. I mean, he's probably not playing this week. May keep him out till week 13. We'll keep an eye on that. How much does Odell Beckham hurt Kupp's production? Absolutely nothing. None of it. Cooper Kupp plays in the slot. He would affect Van Jefferson and Robert Woods far more than he would affect the overall targets of Cooper Kupp. Let's see here. Judy or Landry? Honestly, I'm leaning towards Judy this week there, George. Andrew, would you play Christian McCaffrey over Ezekiel Elliott? Christian McCaffrey limited on touches or no? I don't think he's going to be limited this week, and even if he is, I'd still rather play him over Zeke because Zeke's dealing with a knee injury himself. He may be limited, and we don't even know about it. So I think I'm just going to play Christian McCaffrey there. Do you think Chubb will be out? I do believe he will be out. Unfortunate, but I do believe that will be the case. Thoughts on Marquise Brown going forward? I think he'll be fine. He's been consistent this season. 13 targets. I mean, the volume was there. It was obviously the inaccuracy or the pressure that Miami was sending. I mean, Lamar Jackson was throwing jump passes the whole game. So obviously they were going to go into the dirt or, be really relatively inaccurate. So I'm not too worried about Marquise Brown. DTN, Rom88 says, PPR traded Connor plus Renfro for Diggs. Thoughts? I'm okay with that. I like that idea. Boom. Okay. Pick up OBJ or Ridley off waivers. I'd rather have Ridley off waivers. Tyler higher or Dallas Goedert in Denver. You mean Tyler Higbee, Sean? I would rather play Dallas Goedert in Denver. What do you think about Bolden? Is he a good play this week? Yeah, I think he is, assuming Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris are both out. If they're both out, I would play Harris. I mean, if they're both out, I would play Bolden. And he would probably be like my number 24 running back. McNichols or Peterson? Depends what scoring format you're in. I'd probably say rest of season. I mean, if we're talking about this week alone, I mean, I probably just have to play Peterson based on the fact that he has the highest upside of a touchdown. But, I mean, it's New Orleans. I don't really trust it. So if you're in any sort of like full PPR, I just play McNichols there. Kittle or Waller this week? Kittle. If you guys haven't checked out my video, I posted it earlier today. Tight end rankings, quarterback rankings, check that out. Kittle is going to feast on Los Angeles today. I mean, on Monday night. It's just going to be a one-sided affair there. Let's see here. Wilson or Herbert rest of season? I'd rather have Justin Herbert. Thank you. Do you think Ridley will be back? Yes, I do. He's going to be out for 3 weeks technically, so I think he'll come back week 12 is, I think, my projection at this point. That's what I was assuming. So week 12 is probably when he comes back. Will he go back to being full Calvin Ridley? That's the hope. We'll see. Let's see here. Mike Williams or Mitchell for Debo? I mean, I don't think I would do that. I think I'd rather have Mitchell because the RB depth is just so hard to find. Unless you're stacked at running back and you have like 3 other good options, we just keep it as such. Keep it status quo. Think Kamara is out. I think he will be. If he's not, I'll be surprised, to be honest. What defenses should I start? Browns. Okay, so either way, which defense should I start? I'm assuming that's what you meant. Browns, Pats, or Titans. I'd play the Titans this week. Dak or Josh Allen rest of season? Josh Allen. Elijah Mitchell or Josh Jacobs? Okay, cool. Elijah Mitchell for Josh Jacobs and Stafford. Elijah Mitchell for Josh Jacobs and Stafford for Mahomes? I don't understand that question. You gotta reiterate that one, Justin, because I don't see the two sides there. Is it Elijah Mitchell and Mahomes for Josh Jacobs and Stafford? Because if that's the case, let me know. Do you think Mitchell is playing? What? You think Mitchell is playing? ? He's my replacement for Kamara. Yeah, he should be playing. You'll be fine. Don't worry. You should play him. How do you feel about Mike Williams and DJ Moore rest of season? Unreliable, inconsistent, low-end wide receiver twos. That's where I see it as right now. Colts defense or Titans? I think I have Colts higher in my rankings. But to be honest, it's mainly because, that Jaguars offense hasn't done anything in weeks. Do you think Moss plays this week? I don't think so. I think he's dealing with a concussion, Julian. So my assumption is that Singletary will be the guy. Flex D'Ernest Johnson or Keenan Allen, non-PPR. If Chubb is out, I played D'Ernest. A donation was sent in by Alif. Thank you very much. Says, hey man, hope you're good. I am good. I hope you are as well. I appreciate that. PPR, Henderson or Fournette? Really good question. Holy moly. I think I'm going to probably play Fournette there. Mainly because Fournette is a PPR machine. The guy's catching like 4 passes a week. If Godwin's out and we don't see AB and Gronk this week, it's a Fournette game. If Godwin's back, we see Gronk back, I might probably, retract and go back to Darrell Henderson. So that's the thought process for right now. It's just a matter of how many available options are there for that Tampa Bay offense. If they are shorthanded this week, I'd go with Fournette because I think he'd be even more utilized in the passing game, and that's why I want to take advantage of the PPR work there. If not, and they're full stacked, then we go Henderson. Thank you very much. Should I trade Tony for Ridley? I don't mind that. Forgive Jonah. I don't mind that. But again, there's inherent risk. But to be honest, you really can't trust any Giants wide receivers this season. There just really hasn't been much to grab onto there. Najee for Devontae PPR. I'd rather have Najee Harris than Devontae Adams this season, Jason. But if you want to make that trade, you certainly can. What do you think about Justin Jefferson rest of the season? He'll be fine. Enrique, I mean, the fact that their offensive coordinator is coming out saying we need to target him more, they are obviously watching film and thinking, wow, the dude is open more often than he should be, and Kirk Cousins is not throwing him the ball. We got to figure this out, right? So, yeah, he's a monster, and he'll be fine. Don't worry about him. Does Robbie Anderson bounce back? Robbie Anderson has a 35% catch percentage this season. He's caught 35% of the targets that have been thrown in his direction. I understand a lot of them have been bad, but that's a league worst. I mean, I think the only other receivers that have as low of a percentage are Bryan Edwards and Odell Beckham Jr., which, of course, Bryan Edwards has no excuse because his quarterback's actually accurate. Baker wasn't really helping out OBJ much, but again, Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson, they had a rapport from before, and still it went to garbage. I don't know. Maybe Robbie Anderson has a bounce back here, but when Cam Newton is in an offense, like he is the number 3 option. What I mean by that, it is Christian McCaffrey run the ball or catch the ball. Then it'll be DJ Moore as the 3rd option. Then the number 4 option is Cam Newton keep the ball. So there's a lot of there's a hierarchy to it, and eventually Robbie Anderson sits at the bottom of that food chain, and we'll see where he goes. Okay, so I'm going to probably be here for the next, let's say, about 10 minutes because, again, like I was mentioning, I got a video for tomorrow, but I haven't started working on it yet, so I got to do that immediately as soon as this stream ends. I appreciate you guys coming out. I'll be answering some questions for the next 10 minutes or so. For those of you guys who don't get your questions answered, my apologies. Listen, I try my very best to answer everybody's questions here today. We will be streaming on Sunday morning, hopefully from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, kickoff with Kirchhoff. Those rankings that I'll have on screen, the top 36 running backs, top 36 wide receivers, top 16 quarterbacks and tight ends up to date as of Sunday morning. Hopefully that'll help you out. For those of you guys who are not familiar with that, I stream every Sunday morning for 2 hours trying to help you guys out. So you know what I'm going to do really quickly because I can't anymore. All right, I just wanted to do that really quickly. All right, how do you feel about Elijah Moore this week? To be honest, I just don't like the matchup. I don't like the Buffalo Bills playing against them. When I was watching Week 10 wide receiver rankings, just had a peace of mind. Yeah. Here's my thing. Corey Davis comes back. Jamison Crowder plays a lot in the flex. There's still Braxton Berrios. There's still Keelan Cole. There's a lot of receiving options on that offense. I just don't like the matchup against, the Buffalo Bills. And that's why I've kind of kept them at bay. I think he'll be good rest of the season. I'm just not too convinced that this week is the week to play him. Vincent says Elijah Moore or Corey Davis rest of the season. I think when Zach Wilson comes back, Corey Davis is a better option. Let's see here. Landry or Agnew for my flex. I would rather play Landry. I think Agnew's not a bad option, especially in a full PPR, but I think Landry will be fine. McNichols, Sutton, or Ayuk this week? I would play Ayuk. All right, so let's see here. All right, so while I answer questions, what I wanted to do was I wanted to quickly, before we end today's video, draft a team on Underdog Fantasy. So I'm exactly going to do that. I mean, I technically could do it right here. So I might just do it right here while I answer questions. Actually, give me a second. Let me see how I can do this technically. I could technically do it like this, put that right there, and then throw this up right here. You know what we'll do real quick is let's hop over here real quick. The ball's coming, don't be afraid. All right, and then we'll hop into this draft real quick. This is a Battle Royale for Week 10. Again, the entire concept, I got to move myself to the center of the screen. Is this? Let me see here. Yeah, let's move me here. All right, cool. The entire concept behind this, guys, is that you compete with 6 other teams. You draft in a snake-like draft order. You're picking 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, and two wide receivers and 1 running back minimum. And then you're also going ahead and getting one extra flex option, whether it is running back or wide receiver. Again, if you guys haven't checked out Underdog Fantasy, you can sign up using promo code Andrew today. If you go ahead and do so, Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. A couple questions came in while we wait for this draft to take place. I'm going to actually go ahead and hop back. And once this draft gets fully completed and filled out, I'll go back to it. So let's go ahead, let the football fly in real quick. All right, so a couple questions came in. Corey Olson says, Connor for Gesicki. I mean, I think I'd rather have Connor, especially if Chase Edmonds is going to be out for a little bit of time here. Now, if you don't need Connor and you're like, yo, I just need a tight end, I don't know. Like, Gesicki will be fine. I don't think, 7 targets for 0 receptions is something that we're going to see in the future, but I think Connor's just worth more than that right now, honestly. Billington Bosman says, Zeke, Najee, JT, Devontae Freeman, Drake. We also have, Godwin, Jefferson, Jerry, Ayuk. We have Julio, trade Godwin and Zeke for Devontae Adams and David Montgomery. Wow, that is a effing good question. Holy crap. Trade Zeke and Godwin for Devontae Adams and David Montgomery. I'm going to be totally honest. I think I take that. In a PPR, I think I'd rather have Devontae Adams and David Montgomery. I'm just thinking to myself, like, Devontae Adams hasn't had a bye week yet. David Montgomery's having his bye week. If you make a trade, can you survive? If you're just looking... Okay, this is what I'll say. Let's put together the... after tomorrow's video comes out, my strength of schedule, after I go do the stats right now, I think we'll get a better idea. I'm leaning towards yes, okay? Keep that in mind. Also have Ridley, but who knows whether he'll be back. Yeah, that's also another thing. You think Godwin plays this week? I don't think he plays this week, to be totally honest. If he was going to play this week, or if he's going to play this week, he'll practice tomorrow. So that is the only kind of saving grace. If he practices tomorrow, he'll play. If not, don't expect him to do so. Pete Diaz says, like the video, guys. Yes, I agree. You guys should like the video. That'd be extremely great. I know it seems very insignificant, but liking the video definitely does help. I have the 6th pick in this draft. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and we'll transition screens here real quick in about a minute. Answer a couple more questions. If you see me looking up, my second monitor is up above because I can't put it here because the light and, it doesn't matter. So that's why I'm looking up to the fantasy gods. Help me, please, please, please. Mike Williams or Josh Jacobs with the flex. Depends what your scoring format is. If it's a full PPR, I think I'm willing to go with Mike Williams. Otherwise, you just play Josh Jacobs. Adolfo says, will you have a rest of season rankings? Yeah, probably, but not for until maybe next week, maybe week 11. But yeah, not this week because it's too close and I won't have enough time to put that together on a short notice. But yeah, I've obviously thought about it, but it probably will be in a week or so. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna transition really quickly to this other page. Don't be afraid, the football is coming. All right, so as you can see here, we are at UnderdogFantasy.com. It is a draft for this upcoming Sunday's slate of games. So it's the Sunday Battle Royale where you draft a team against 6 other players, then you compete against thousands to see how much you can, go ahead and potentially score. Again, I'm putting together a roster of 6 players, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, a minimum of 1 running back and 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. So what are we looking for at the number 6 position? To be totally honest, I want a running back and I want his name to be Christian McCaffrey. If he can fall to me, that would be incredible. We'll see what happens though. Christian McCaffrey's taking number 1. Never mind. My plan has been foiled. We'll see what happens either way. Let me go ahead and see what's going on in the chat here. How do you feel about Chubb rest of season? He'll be fine. I mean, obviously when, Kareem Hunt returns, it's going to be a little bit sketchy, but we'll see how it goes. Singletary, Devonta Smith, or Landry in a PPR. If Zach Moss is out, I think I'm going to play Singletary there. But Zach Moss has to be out. Everyone went running back, huh? Who are the best wide receivers available? Devontae Adams. I think I might just take Adams if... Ooh, give me Eckler. Come on, please. Just give me Eckler. Just... Who is this? QPRY? Just give me Eckler, man. Guy, if you're in the chat, maybe you just hopped in here. Just don't do it to me. I'd rather you take Devontae Adams. Please. Oh my God, he went James Conner. Holy moly. All right, I will take Eckler, and I will follow that with Devontae Adams here. Woo, we're looking good, baby. We're looking good. Let's go. We're looking real good right now. Holy moly. Okay, coming back to the chat. I don't pick for a little while here. Zeke and Kittle for Najee Harris. I would rather have Zeke and Kittle rest of the season. Peoples-Jones is going to start drawing double coverage. Absolutely. Jefferson or Pittman half PPR this week. I'm leaning towards Jefferson, but I don't mind playing Pittman there. I'm going to be totally honest. My friend traded Kupp and Mixon for Eckler. Is he a casual? No, he's cheating. He got paid for his team, Kevin. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody's trading away Mixon and Kupp, who are putting up a 20 a week in the last month, for just Eckler. No one's doing that, right? So he's not a casual. He sold out. There's a difference. Someone's got to go look at the Venmo logs. How much money did he get paid for his players? Because that is just, whew, that's rough. All right, let's see here. When am I picking? This guy took that long to pick. Diggs, Evans, okay. By the way, again, if you guys are interested in doing drafts like this, trying to win money on the weekends, where there is the pick'ems and all that kind of jazz, promo code Andrew. It does support me as a creator a lot. Again, that'll be awesome. Damn, I wanted DK Metcalf. It got taken. I don't pick for a while. Damn, dude. A lot of these players are going. I want to actually look at wide receiver. Running back real quick. Aaron Jones is still up. Cordero Patterson's probably a good play. So is Fournette. There's a lot of good running backs available. By the way, it's the Sunday slate of games, so it doesn't include the Monday night or the Sunday night game because there's specific contests that you can draft for that, for those games. Michael sent in a donation, said, hey Andy, great content, big fan. I'm 5-1, trying to secure a playoff spot. Dan Arnold / Dawson Knox. I would rather play Knox going forward and this week. Both are great matchups. Knox injury scares me a little bit. First game back. You think Moss plays? ? I have Singletary. I don't think Moss plays. I think he has a concussion. He'll be fine. I don't really worry about Knox because all he did was break his hand. And if it's healed and the bone is healed, I mean, he's a receiver. He'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's not like it's a hip injury or, like an elbow injury or a knee injury. It's not something that could potentially slow him down and make it more difficult for him to play football. I think he'll be fine. And, his transition back will be just fine. I'm not worried about it. Okay, here we go. We got the 3rd round pick coming along here. We're looking for, let me see, what kind of tight ends are available? I could go Kyle Pitts against Dallas. I don't mind that, but I'm going to be totally honest. I think Hawkinson could probably be snagged later on in this draft. Who are the wide receivers available? Justin Jefferson is still there. I'm interested. Godwin, I'm so questionable about that. I don't even know if he's worth investing in at this point. I would have loved Keenan Allen or A.J. Brown to fall into me, but they're probably, safely not going to because they're just far too high in terms of their upside. I like Deontay Johnson, but man, Ben Roethlisberger scares me. He doesn't move the needle. He doesn't throw the ball enough, especially down the field. He takes Aaron Jones with the auto pick. That's unfortunate for me. My assumption is that Alvin Kamara is not going to play, so I don't want to risk it there. So of the available options here for me, I'm most likely, I think I need to grab a wide. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play it a little bit risky. So I'm going to take Cordero Patterson here. He's just been too consistent as of late. And then I'm going to follow this up. I could take a tight end here and just solidify it and then come back for lower end. Yeah, you know what? That's probably what I'm going to, let me think about this. Damn, Justin Jefferson. Are you going to ball out this week? I need upside. I need someone that's going to win me a contest. All right, we're going to take Fournette. Wait, I can't take Fournette? Oh, damn it. All right, Justin Jefferson, come here. Come here. I messed up. Guys. We're not going to talk about it, okay? We're not going to talk about it. We're transitioning back. I'm not going to talk about it, okay? We're not going to talk about it. Do you think Tyler Johnson is a start if Godwin is out? I mean, if Godwin's out, who else do you have? Oh, Tyler Johnson, not Ty Johnson. Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, got it. What do you think about PJ Walker? Not interested, to be honest. Is Mike Williams a buy low? I think he is, yes. But, I mean, just understand that there's a lot of risk involved. Man, dude, I got Dak at quarterback. I'm pissed. It's okay. It was only a $5 buy-in. I'm not too worried about it. Damn it, dude. I for some reason, I thought, I could draft the 3rd running back. Nope, Andrew, no. You already took your running back. Damn it. It doesn't matter. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Coming back here. Thoughts on Miles Sanders after he returns from the injured reserve? It's a running back by committee there. I'm not interested in it. It's not gonna work. Bad guy says literally happened to me yesterday. Yeah, I'm not even worried about it. It's not a big deal. Whatever. When it comes back, I'm probably just gonna snag Michael Pittman. Never mind, he's already been taken. Damn it, dude. What the heck? It all just went to crap. It's okay. I'll leave it here. I'll probably try to grab a player like, I don't know. Now that I've already addressed my thing, I need tight end. Hopefully, Hawkinson's still available. Easy Money says, Thielen or DJ Moore full PPR? I would rather play Thielen this week. Thank you very much. Devonta Smith for Javonte Williams. Yeah, I would do that. I would take Javonte Williams rest of the season. Landry, Ayuk, or waiver wire? I would play Landry. I mean, it depends what's on waiver wire, right? Do I trade Woods and Knox for Deontay Johnson? I don't mind that. If, of course, you have another tight end that is going to, fill out the rest of the week. Thoughts on CH? When he comes back, I'm worried it might be a committee situation, but hopefully it won't be and we'll be fine. But there is a very good chance that it is a committee situation, which throws everything into a complete garbage flux. All right, here, guys. My final picks. Oh, he took Hawkinson right in front of me. I am just disgusted. This just went horribly. I don't know if Justin Jefferson, man. I mean, I have to trust it, right? I kind of have to, but I don't. I'm going to pick Mike Williams this week because my draft already went to, shambles. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to follow that up by looking at the tight end position here. Who has ultimate upside? Let's say Dawson. Dalton Schultz. You're going to catch 3 touchdowns this week. All right. So Dak, Eckler, Cordero Patterson, Adams, Mike Williams, and Schultz. It went so badly so quickly, but it's not a big deal. Either way, guys, if you want to check out Underdog Fantasy, go ahead and do so. Use promo code Andrew. Thank you very much in advance. I'm going to answer questions until probably 10:30 my time. So another 4 minutes here, and then I got to bounce. CEH could be a committee. If it's not, we'll be fine. Mike Williams or Keenan Allen? I'd rather have Keenan Allen rest of the season. And this week, in fact. Let's see here. Mark Ingram or Elijah Mitchell if Kamara is out. I would rather play Mark Ingram right now. Odell rest of season. I mean, again, he's a wide receiver 3 at best. Fournette or Henderson? Fournette for Henderson? Anyone? Question mark. I don't mind it. We'll talk about it tomorrow as my rest of season strength of season strength of schedule comes out, and it'll kind of give you some indication as to who has the better schedule, and it will be Henderson, and it may honestly give him an advantage in that overall trade. Bro, your Justin Jefferson's talk is scaring me. Bro, listen, I wouldn't say things like that unless I was concerned myself. I am personally concerned about Justin Jefferson. Mainly because the offense just doesn't look good. It doesn't look like it's potent enough. The fact that Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen are combining for 5 catches between the two of them in a singular week, that should never happen. In any capacity for that offense, should never happen. Dude, those guys should catch 5 passes per half each. That's what it should be. But again, Kirk Cousins, quarterback. Thank you very much. Michael Pittman Jr. or D'Ernest Johnson? If Chubb is out? Good question. I would probably play D'Ernest Johnson in a half PPR to standard. Probably play Michael Pittman in a full. Michael says, how much does OBJ take away from Woods? Woods is my wide receiver 3. I am worried. Should I be worried? Excuse me. I wouldn't be worried. Again, Woods has been really consistent as of late. OBJ is the deep threat, guys. He is taking away value from Van Jefferson. So maybe he takes a couple touchdowns. Maybe he takes a couple extra receptions. Sure. But it's not going to be that big of a thing, an impact. I really don't think so. I think there's enough work for another receiver in this offense. That's why I've been talking about Van Jefferson for the last couple weeks, because they're just so potent offensively that they can function with 3 reliable top 36 wide receivers, a stud running back, and a top 16 tight end. They've been able to do it, and they will continue as we progress. So I'm not worried about it. Off the top says half PPR Jacobs, Javonte Williams for Aaron Jones. I would probably say yes to this, but you need to have probably more running back depth. If you do, and you're okay with taking Aaron Jones, by all means, I would do that, because I think Aaron Jones will help you long term rather than 2 subpar RB2s. because again, you really want the upside going forward. All right. It's 10:29. Someone said Deshaun Jackson worth stashing. No. Just a reminder, Scott, Deshaun Jackson has had maybe, I think, 2 or 3 good fantasy performances in the last 3 years. So just putting that in perspective, he's been hurt a lot. He's an older gentleman, and I understand he can have a couple good games, but let's just go look at his game logs over his career. He's pretty much good for 1 good performance every season. He has already done that this year. He did it for the Rams against Tampa Bay, 100 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if he gets back to that. Could, but I don't think he does. Okay, last question of the day. We have Senti Fox sending in a question. Says, Amari Cooper, Alvin Kamara, DJ Moore for Deontay Johnson, Christian McCaffrey, and Mike Evans. I would take the Christian McCaffrey side. If you can get it, I would. 100%. Thank you very much. All right. Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, I appreciate you guys coming out, supporting the channel. If I wasn't able to answer your question, I apologize. Again, there's a lot of you and just one of me. Sunday morning, I will be live streaming. Tomorrow will be a video regarding rest of season strength of schedule. We'll answer a lot of your questions. Thank you. Have a good night. I understand that Thursday night football game was trash, but hopefully this Sunday's games are significantly better. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't checked out my Discord server, there's a free community server down in the description if you guys are familiar with Discord. A lot of people talking fantasy football there. If you're trying to extend the conversation past the live stream itself, you can check that out. Outside of that, there's a Patreon. For those of you looking to support, get all of your 2021 fantasy football questions answered. You can send those to me via there. Outside of that, I appreciate you guys. Until tomorrow, I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Peace.